What's up, OKC? Sergeant Dylan Quirk bringing you another episode of Close Calls. Today we're on the beautiful Lake Hefner, a lake in which our department patrols. In today's episode, we sit down with one of our lake officers, Master Sergeant Kendell Smith. He's interviewed by a member of our media team to talk about a time that he rescued a couple of family members right here on Lake Hefner. We're eating today at a restaurant here on the lake. Let's sit down and hear about his story.
When did you get in with Lake Patrol? Or I'm sure it's probably evolved a lot over these 33 years.
It has. When I first came out, a lot of the boats were, they're just older, they were worn out, and then we got 6 brand new boats for all 3 lakes, 2 for each one. We've got one jet boat that goes a little shallower, and then we've got 26-foot Proline offshore fishing boat, basically what it is. And it can handle really big waves like we have here on Hefner. Most of my knowledge and stuff like that, I was raised up, my dad grew up on fishing boat, skiing boat, and we did all that like as soon as we were old enough to get out there. A lot of the knowledge I have like that, I show anybody that wants to listen, and then it just kind of helps go along with some of the stuff that we're teaching as the police department,
Because you've been out on it, you know what trouble looks like. That person right there, they're struggling because you've got that sense, you got that experience.
It was like a couple months ago, but it was sunny that day. We came out and just went in, just doing some patrol stuff, and as we're coming out of the marina, I see a bunch of sailboats out there, and I see one starting to lean over quite a bit. It's kind of like a lifeguard type of deal. You're there, and you can take care of it immediately. And I saw it leaning more and more, and then all of a sudden, it hits the side. I just started heading towards him because I thought, well, he made him trouble, and I could see there was a couple people. And then I watched the mast start to disappear, and it went completely like that, where the bottom of the boat is sticking straight up. And then they're in the water trying to get on top of the boat. I mean, you can, on any of those boats, you do lose your footing where it gets wet. Sometimes that fiberglass is slick. You can get knocked out in the head real quick, and if you hit the water, if you don't have a life jacket on, most people sink. It ended up being a father. He brought his daughter out. He was trying to get it flipped, but it was completely upside down, and he couldn't do it. So she had a life jacket on, and I was getting ready to throw him one, ask him. I said, hey, do you have a life jacket? I said, I'll give you one of mine. And he actually, I didn't know what he was going to do. He actually went underwater for a minute and retrieved his life jacket. If I knew he was going to do that, it would just stay there. I'll give you a life jacket. I'll get you in the boat or whatever. I brought the daughter into the police boat and got her out of the water, and then left him in there. Since he's already wet, he's got a life jacket. He hooked my rope up. One of the sailboat club people was out in the boat. They saw what we were doing, so they came over.
You guys coming up? You ready?
Yeah.
The dad was completely exhausted, but he had a life jacket on. And I was like, do you want to sail back, or you want me to take you back or tow you? He goes, no. He goes, take me back and you can tow us. So I talked to him about some safety things. It was nice to be there, just right on the spot, and actually see it happen and not let it further deteriorate, and then help them get their boat back up. But like you said, if somebody didn't get to you real quick, however deep that is probably where you're going. We talked about some safety things just for the future, and a couple other things he can do or get, just to help him if he needs it in the future. So he was real thankful of just getting some extra advice,
Well, I really appreciate you getting to tell us your close call, and I know they're certainly appreciative that you were there at the right place at the right time. So thank you.
You're welcome.
There are several lakes here in the city limits of Oklahoma City that the police department is responsible for monitoring and responding to if situations like this occur. We're very fortunate that our lake officer, Master Sergeant Smith, was able to get there quickly and help these family members out of this situation. Remember, wear your life jackets. If you find yourself getting into a situation where things could turn drastically, please dial 911. Call for police response to help get you safely out of the water. We want everybody to enjoy themselves on the lakes, but it's important to remember to remain safe and take those safety precautions. As always, we'll see you on the next Close Calls.